Does this thing even fight back at you?
It does those.
Oh, so you just have to constantly be moving, kind of thing.
Basically. Considering we have to fight like a bunch of these, like a half a dozen of these, they're not supposed to be like overly hard.
No, yeah. Hiya! That is an automatic way if you run a social media page or a YouTube page or whatever, and you want to get people like commenting on your stuff and whatever. It's a really easy way to do it. Just post any opinion about tipping one way or the other. It doesn't matter what it is, and you'll get 1 million people commenting. Yeah. I cannot believe, by the way, how many people on social media fall for really, 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 really obviously AI pictures of, like, sob story. Like, it's crazy to me.
I don't want to be the guy to be like, the masses are stupid, but the masses are stupid.
There was one where, it showed the, quarterback of the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, where it was like, hey, Lamar Jackson donated his entire paycheck this year to charities. And, like, it literally showed an AI picture of him, like, literally signing the check. And, like, it was, like, so obvious that it was AI. And every single comment, for, at least the first, like, I don't know, good 20 or so that I read was, like, see, this is why I'm a Ravens fan. He's a good guy. And then after you scroll a while, you get someone going like, yeah, this is literally AI. Why do you believe this? But there's so many people that are just like, sometimes it's really innocuous and it doesn't mean anything. Like, it's like, I saw one the other day about how dogs can help you feel better. Like, if you're sick, like, they hang out with you and they make you feel better. And, you know, all the comments were like, you see, dogs are healing. It was awful. It was like, dogs are sent by God to heal us. And I was like, oh my God.
I think a lot of people fall for that stuff because they want to have their viewpoints reinforced, even like through like just, or to get mad at something that they perceive to be wrong.
Right.
So they just want like their own opinions echoed back at them. So the Land of Origin, the place we were just in, is a completely optional area if you just want to beat the game without the true ending. So giving the White Priestess, the Blighted Pupil, and the text will give us this Agus Curio, which we can save what's her face with it.
Oh.
And then she'll give us the item to get the true ending. Lilia.
It wouldn't be a Metroidvania game without having to get a specific item so you can not fight the one person and save them.
Yeah, in the first game, there was a pretty cool ending where you can just leave and you like skip like 60% of the game. But it's not super obvious what you're supposed to do because there's so little narrative going on. But you meet like the one person that you know, and she's just like, you don't have to do this struggle. You're not indebted to do this. You can just leave if you want. And then when you leave, it gives you a little stinger about how like awful things are behind the scenes. And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna figure out what's going on.
That's really cool.
In some ways, I think the first game, this is definitely the better game. Like, the first game's like a 7 out of 10, because it's just so basic and feels bad to play. But in some ways, the atmosphere and like how the story is presented in such a non-linear and non-obvious way, I definitely like it a lot better than this game.
That kind of reminds me of in Clock Tower 1 when you can, at the second stage,
that's a good.
You can not go to where the statue is, and the game's like, okay, bud, it just gives you the E ending. But who would ever think of that unless you honestly make that mistake?
And you can get to the third stage without like the statue, so it's just like automatically you're gonna get a bad ending of some sort.
I don't think so.
Oh, you can't?
I think if you go to the opposite place, you get the bad ending automatically. I think in order to get to the third stage, you have to have the statue.
Okay.
I think so. Don't quote me on that.
Maybe you can do the Jennifer Helen. I forget if we did Helen or Jennifer first, but you still have to do that playthrough.
Professor Barton. Professor Barton. I think we did Jennifer. I would want to watch Carcinogen's all saving everyone's play run to try to do that. Or at least, I don't know if he saves everyone, but like the maximum amount of people. Because the way the randomness works from that really confuses me, of like, you press one thing and all of a sudden someone dies and you're like, oh, okay, got it. Or you check something out of order and it means that someone's dead, so you have to do everything exactly correct. Classic adventure game logic.
Nola's real name is Magnolia! It's truly an Ender Magnolia TM of us all.
How did we not know? Those were your memories.
I think one thing about this game that kind of falls flat on its face is that they have a lot of emphasis on these two characters, but the main character is an amnesiac, just like very placid character who doesn't emote much. And then the other one's like just like another amnesiac, sort of placid character who doesn't seem to have like much investment in what's going on. So if they make a third game, although it seems like this setting is pretty much done with the ending of this game, but we'll see. But if they do a more story-focused thing, they gotta make the characters more interesting. To justify this much dialogue.
Alright, here's question of the part for you, YouTube land. What is the best silent protagonist in video game history? Let us know below. Here's my answer, and it's a little bit unfair, but deal with it because it's my question. My answer is Mario from Super Mario RPG specifically.
It's really good. It's a really good one.
And
Paper Mario is also really good from the first game.
I agree.
Mario RPG Mario is probably the best incarnation of him ever.
The reason I think it's unfair is obviously Mario is in 500,000 other games. So if you said Chrono from Chrono Trigger, Chrono's only in one game. So it is a little bit unfair to say it's literally Mario, but I'm thinking of him only in Mario RPG settings. In the setting of that game. They do such a great job of making him very emotive and very awesome, despite not saying a word. Some other ones off the top of my head, you got Chrono from Chrono Trigger, you got Surge from Chrono Cross. Why am I blanking on other ones? Oh, you have Metroid. You have Samus from a lot of the Metroid games.
To me, I like silent protagonist that still can emote at least a little bit, and Chrono is way too like passive for me. He's just like a stand-in character where you just move him around with the controller. He like doesn't have a personality or like any sort of meaningful characterization.
Here are some other choices,
which is really hard to do with a silent protagonist. But Chrono, even like I love Chrono Cross, but Surge is like he's a non-character. He's just a vessel to move through the game.
Here's some other choices for you guys, just to think about. You got Link. I don't count Grunts as not being a silent protagonist.
I think another good one, specifically for Link, is Wind Waker Link. Wind Waker Link is very expressive. He's very likable despite not saying anything. He's like one of the youngest Links in the series, but he still prevails. And you can see that he's like over his head at like multiple times throughout the story. I think Wind Waker Link, not as good as Super Mario RPG Mario, but one of the best for sure. But then like Twilight Princess Link is like complete garbage.
You got Doom Guy. You got only from Dead Space 1, Isaac Clarke. I would still count that if you say just from Dead Space 1. Gordon Freeman, of course, that's one of the more famous ones. They have listed Kirby. I mean, I guess. Like, he doesn't talk. I guess.
He makes a lot of noises. I don't know, like, all the characters, I guess he doesn't, like, speak.
Well, it's like,
words,
would you count Mario from, like, a game like, Super Mario Galaxy? He doesn't talk, I don't think, but he makes a lot of bing bing wahoo noises.
Yeah.
And the same thing, they have Crash Bandicoot listed, but he makes a lot of noises. It's not just, I wouldn't count Link because he grunts every once in a while, like cha, you know. But like Crash Bandicoot emotes a lot. Pokemon Trainer, that's an interesting one. Are they always silent?
They're always silent, and they have it's just like the Dragon Quest thing, where the only things that they say are yes or no.
People were saying...
I think they're just listing just any silent protagonist.
People were saying...
Pokemon Trainer is garbage.
Souls protagonists? I can't imagine. Aren't Souls protagonists just like avatars? Like, there's like... Are there stories regarding them, or are they just like, here's a reason you're in the story?
There's usually like a reasoning behind them being able to like revive over and over. That's it, I think.
Okay.
I gotta say, Souls, I played through Demon Souls, and I tried Dark Souls. Just not a series for me. I don't know much about it. So any Souls god seething, I don't care. I just don't care.
Who's Caim? C-A-I-M. Or Caim?
I don't know.
People keep mentioning him. Drakengard?
Oh yeah. Drakengard's the first one has a pretty cool story. Although he has a pretty overt personality in terms of So one of the things you have to do in the Drakengard universe is sacrifice one of your senses to form a pact with a dragon, and for him it was his like speech, his tongue base. It's like a brand on his tongue.
Oh, okay.
But like he is a very vengeful guy. He is not a good guy.
Is he I know there's like 3 Drakengard games at this point.
He's only in the first one.
Okay. But yeah, let us know below. That's I'm sure there's other choices that we're not thinking of right now. Do you know what? And then you could also look at it the exact opposite.
Oh,
nice.
Complete.
The exact opposite of a silent protagonist would be Bubsy from Bubsy 3D, who you can't go 5 seconds without him talking. And I know there's obviously other ones like that too.
So the one on my mind right now, I don't want to talk about it too much because it's so, I don't know. But I've been playing the new chapters of Deltarune that came out 2 days ago, and that's another silent protagonist. But they sort of like, it's almost like a deconstruction of the silent protagonist, because there's this like prevailing like theme that you as like a player or as a soul is controlling the main character unwittingly to do things that he doesn't want to do, and it's an interesting inversion. Although it's just like the story is not complete yet, so you just don't know where it's gonna go. But it's an interesting idea at least.
Oh, what about what I know? If we were a popular channel, some Zoomer would say Undertale. The you, because it's literally you from Undertale. Someone would definitely say that. Even though they're literally just an avatar. And all that happens in that game is people just diatribe to you constantly.
Yeah, Deltarune's the sequel to Undertale. But
oh, it is? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's a lot more interesting in that game. I mean, Frisk in Undertale is just... he's barely a character.
Oh, it has... I thought... I didn't realize they had a name. I only got like an hour and a half into it so far.
I think his name's... I don't know. I think his name's Frisk.
Were you trying to get hit?
No.
Oh, okay. Like I said, I'm only like an hour and a half in. It got traded in for the PS4, so I was like, I'm gonna play this finally.
Wait, were you playing Undertale?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With Ferris is watching me.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
He told me not to do the pacifist run, so I said okay.
Okay. Of course, Ferris knows everything about it. It's one of those series that like I enjoy it, but the fan base is so bad. I just cannot possibly talk about it in public with anyone.
Oh, because they would not
be
able to have a
it's like
good
Homestuck here.
Yeah.
maybe not that bad. Homestuck is on another level of insane cringe.
Is that still a thing?
No.
I was gonna say, I thought it was...
Well, it's sort of on life's... I don't want to talk about
it. Based.
It's such a dumpster fire that, like, almost everyone no one cares about it anymore.
I can see
including me.
I can see why people like Sans, though, the character Sans, and I forget his brother, the tall skeleton. They're pretty funny.
It's a joke on the font that they use. What is it? God.
Comic Sans?
Comic... Why are you saying it's Sans?
Isn't that his name? Or is his name Sans?
Yeah, comic
Oh, I thought it was Sans. Oh, okay. Comic
Why
Sans.
can't I think of the other guy's name? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I pretty much did everything. The only thing we have left is the final area, but I'm probably just gonna leave that for next part. Okay. One thing we can do is do the rest of these dialogues.
I do like... My favorite character so far is Flowey. He's my king. And my least favorite character is the kind of like dog woman that you meet in the beginning of the game. I was like, leave me alone. Let me leave.
That's a goat.
Goat? Okay.
Her name's Toriel.
Okay. Sorry, it's been like...
It's not super obvious, because, I mean, it's just such low low resolution pixel art.
We've been so busy that I played it once for like an hour and a half, like a week and a half ago, and I haven't got a chance since then because we've had baseball like literally every day. But I was like, let me leave, and she was like, no. And I was like, what is going on here? Let me leave.
She's just protecting you because the outside world is dangerous.
I know, I get it. But I'm playing a video...
So I'm guessing you killed her?
No.
Oh, okay. So you are doing the pacifist run.
Am I?
I guess if,
no.
If you didn't kill her.
Ferris said that you can never kill a single enemy. That, like, a single enemy at any time, like, even like a random frog, you can't kill a single one.
I think so.
And I was like, dude, that sounds way too hard. But I'm
honestly, sparing enemies is pretty... It's not super... It's like it's the same amount of turns as just killing them.
Well, no, but I meant to get, like, levels and get stronger and stuff like that. I assume it's easier. I don't know. But I'm just deciding to kill or spare, depending on if I like the character. And deal with it. Whatever the generic ending is definitely the one I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
You know? It's just like in Silent Hill, like when you like Silent Hill 2, you play it normally, and then you get the what's the normal one? It's normally in water. No, it's leave. It's normally leave, I think. So I'm not gonna go out of my way to like try to kill myself, but I'm also not gonna go out of my way to try to kill Maria. I'm just gonna play the game normally, and I'm gonna get the leave ending. And yeah, I spared her because I was like, this is kind of funny. So I kept saying no. She was like, fight me, and I was like, no.
Yeah, they do a thing where you accidentally like crit her and do like 60% of her health, and then she dies suddenly, and you just feel awful.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, I did not do that. Because she was well-meaning. I didn't like her as a character, but I'm like, does that mean I want to kill this character? Like, no. Especially since it gives you the options. I'm surprised Toby Fox ever did anything again. Undertale alone probably made him like $100 million. Is that ridiculous to say? With how big that is with kids?
It's probably not far off. I mean, he's been doing Deltarune, and now Chapter 4's out, but the first 2 chapters were completely free, and he only just started charging money for that game 7 years after it came out.
But a lot of times when people do that and make it big on one game, they're like, eh. I mean, look at Notch. He's got the candy wall in his house, and he's like, okay.
I've been seeing rumorings that Notch is, like, coming back, kind of.
What does that even mean?
He was seen in a, like, meeting room with people.
Oh, I saw that picture. I bet he could.
And then he did the Jonathan Blow diatribe where it's like, you aren't making a game if you don't code the entire engine yourself. And it's like, okay, 1980 was a long time ago, Grandpa.
So wait, should he come up with the operating system it runs on? Like, at what level do you stop?
Might as well do that.
Should he build? Should he build a specialty PC just for it from not from pre-made parts? Should he start with the circuitry? Where do you end?
Like, I get that using someone else's engine is going to be limiting in terms of what you want to do, but building it yourself from the ground up for 2025, like specifications with like just insane amounts of like tech involved, it's just not realistic anymore.
No. It is the literal meme is the Virgin makes his own engine versus the Chad Unity enjoyer. Okay? That's where we're at. Chad Unity enjoyer doesn't waste time doing any messing with any engine. Uses pre-made stuff, puts it right in the game, throws it on Steam for $4.99. No refunds. GG's. That's Chad. That's the Chad move right there.
They changed how monetization of using the Unreal Engine works, so that's kind of becoming the new Unity, where like they just charge like based on like how, like if the game sells. I don't think they charge anything up front to use it. It's just like every sale you have to pay like 10% to them or something.
Okay.
Which for indies is amazing, but for like big companies it's bad because they're spending more on it.
I do miss when more companies made their own engines. I mean, Capcom having the RE... the RE engine's almost, 10 years old now at this point, and it's still going strong for the Resident Evil games, so... It seems like if you actually take the time and make a good engine, it seems worth it. You also have to be a pretty big company. You can't be like a double-A company you doing it. I don't care, I still love my... Loves me Unity asset swaps. Deal with it.
They're funny.
Simple as. Simple as. Do you remember that one I played a couple months ago? Where the guy woke up in buried alive, and then he ended up at somebody's suburban house like 20 minutes later, running away from the guy and his wife, who were like, "Peter! I'm mad at you! I'm gonna kill you!" And then you go to a church, and he burns the church, and he's like, "I am the bad guy. I am mad because you stole my girl." Remember that?
Yeah.
I could not... Do you actually?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I could not name the name of that game for $100. I would literally have to go back on the channel and figure out what it was. It was called like Buried something. I forget the exact thing.
Maybe just Buried Alive.
It might literally be Buried Alive.
That game was a lot more memorable than when you did like 10 like actual asset flops in a row. That Buried Alive game was just boring. It was only like a very small step above those, because I think they used like AI voice acting. It was pretty obvious.
It was also like $10. Like, it was surprisingly expensive for what it is. That's the only game I ever refunded. I literally beat the whole thing in like 45 minutes and was like, and refund. So, sorry person who made Buried Alive. I refunded your game.
No! He's watching right now.
I enjoyed 45 minutes of it. Well, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. I got 45 minutes of content out of it. Okay. Bye! We'll be back next time to finish this game and say things. Bye.
Definitely the next part will only be, like, probably just one, like, part.
Woo!
It shouldn't be too long. We can finally finish. And then I'm probably going to take a break so Spencer can finish Condemned 2.
Let's go! Oh, yeah. Bye.